Didn't Google kickboxing at 47 at 2 a.m.? I Googled things to do in Phnom Penh at 5 a.m. Because I'm 47, I wake up early, and I was alone in Cambodia, trying to make sense of my approximately 45th solo trip abroad. Thanks for reading. Subscribe for free to receive new posts and support my work. Outside my guest house, the city was already stirring. The hum of scooters, the clatter of street carts being pushed into place for the breakfast rush. The occasional, "You want sexy massage?" call from women draped on sofas in front of massage places, repeating the offer like a mantra to every Western man who walked by. I was restless, almost through my beloved Lunar New Year break from my teaching job in Taiwan, and not sure what I was even looking for. That's when I stumbled on a listing for a Muay Khmer fight night. Ringside seats. All-you-can-drink beer, absurdly cheap. I went that night, thinking it'd be a novelty, but I loved everything about it. The heat, the crowd, the rawness of it. I couldn't take my eyes off the fighters. Not just their power, but their rhythm, their calm before every strike. Something stirred in me. Something I hadn't felt since my days of junior high wrestling. A few days later, I was Googling again, this time for Muay Khmer classes. I managed to fit in a few while I was still in Cambodia. The coach had passable English, but couldn't really explain too much. Still, I liked the sweat. I liked the simplicity. One of my favorite parts of the class was after 9 alternating rounds between light sparring with a partner and wailing on the heavy bag, he would set the timer and say, "Okay, talking together." Then he would walk away. But once I got back to Taiwan, I couldn't seem to bring myself to find another class. Thanks doing something similar. Give me some Muay Thai class, but it wasn't until 9:30 at night. I wasn't over until 9:30 at night. Like I said, you're in a part, I wake up at 5 a.m. So that's not going to work, and maybe it was an excuse. And the last time I went there, but I got scared, to be honest, because their 25-year-old kid wouldn't turn her lights fine, loading, and the instructor kind of seemed to be okay with it. So it's just another one of those ideas that I never followed through on, but the idea kept buzzing in the back of my head. Months later, when I returned to Pennsylvania for the summer, I knew I couldn't let it go. I was there to help care for my 75-year-old father, who's been battling cancer for years. The situation is emotionally brutal. He walks with a stroller, uses a mobile urinal, hates needing help, and yet he needs constant help. He's also pissed off a lot. It's not personal, but it still stings. The yelling, the frustration, the sheer intensity of being around someone who's losing control of their body. It wears you down, especially when they used to be the strong one. The one who never said no to one more volleyball game, basketball game, etc. To the point that he would outlast the kids in the neighborhood last year. I got 5 calls in 10 minutes. My dad, then my sister, then my dad again. Because I hadn't picked up fast enough. I backed into a guardrail trying to leave the parking lot, smashed the bumper on my sister's car. It wasn't just the calls, it was the weight of being the go-to person, the son, the helper, the one who can't mess up. This year, I tried something different. Before diving into caretaking duties, I walked into Tiger Schulman's gym in Bethlehem and told the coach I'd only be in town for 2 weeks. But I wanted to train. I didn't even mention my dad. Deep down, I knew that I needed to move, to breathe. The coach nodded and said, "This one's on the house." That was the first win. The first class? It was just a basic bag session. No contact, no pressure. Still, my shoulders burned trying to keep my hands up. My back ached. I could barely switch stances without stumbling. Afterward, the instructor asked if I was serious about coming back, probably because I looked like I was about to pass out. but I was serious. Because I needed something that didn't require words. Something I could hit without it yelling back. Something that belonged to me, and me alone. I've lifted for years. Hit some solid PRs in my mid-40s. I'm not ashamed of my body, but I'm tight. Arthritic in places I didn't expect. My knees crunch. My back resents chairs. Putting on socks feels like a yoga pose. And yet, I'm here. I don't train to compete. I'm not chasing belts or sponsorships. I train so I don't scream. I train so I can breathe through stretches. I train so I don't lose myself in the process of being useful to everyone else. I've only been at it for a few weeks, but I'm obsessed. In a good way. Better than drinking. Better than numbing out on my phone. This obsession has sweat and rhythm feels like control. And maybe, eventually, I'll earn some stripes.